friends, it's Miss Smith. Today we're going to make an art project based on the book The Spider Weaver, A Legend of the Kente Cloth. Now if you remember in this story, the two boys went into the forest and they watched a spider weave a beautiful web, and they used what they learned to come back to their home and make beautiful kente cloths for people to wear. So they were able to weave because of the spider that they saw. And here were some of the beautiful cloths they made for the people to wear. So today we're going to weave our own kente cloth using construction paper. Now you'll see here is what mine looks like now that it's finished. It takes 3 pieces of construction paper to make this. So I chose to use green, yellow, and blue. You can choose whatever your favorite colors are. I chose green because it reminds me of things growing outside, like flowers and trees. I chose yellow because it reminds me of the sun and I like sunny days. And I chose blue because I love to go swimming and it reminds me of the water. But you can choose whatever 3 colors are special to you. So to get started for this project, you can just pick one color, and you can see the construction paper is a rectangle shape. It has 2 short sides and 2 long sides. Remember that from math? So what you're going to do is fold the paper in half so that these 2 short sides come together. It looks like this. So when you see the 2 short sides come together, kind of pinch it in the middle and fold the paper in half. Kind of like you're going to make a card for somebody, if you've done that before. So now I've got my paper folded in half. I'm going to leave it folded, and I'm going to draw a line across the top. I'm going to maybe use my 2 fingers and make a little line right there. And I'm going to go all the way across. So I know that's where I need to stop cutting. So you'll have this. Now I'm going to go to the bottom and I'm going to use my 2 fingers to make spaces. And after every space, I'm going to just draw a quick little line like this. So if I have 2 fingers, I'm going to draw a line. 2 more fingers, draw a line. 2 more fingers, draw a line. And you can do this all the way across the bottom of your paper where it is folded. So now I'm to the end, and where I see those lines, I'm going to use my scissors to cut. So watch this. I'm going to start at this first line, and I'm going to cut all the way up till I get to that line, and then I'll stop. Just like that. See, I'll stop right there. I'm not going to go all the way to the end. I'll go to the next line and cut up. And continue this with every one of your lines you made using your finger spaces. Okay. It should look something like this when you're finished. You'll still have your line at the top that you didn't cut, but all these little pieces will be cut. And when you open your paper, it looks like this. So you might wonder, what are we going to do with this now? Well, first we have to cut some more paper. So remember, I've got a blue and a yellow piece. I'm going to cut my blue first into strips. And I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm not folding this paper. So I'm just going to keep it just like this with the long sides at the top and the bottom. And I'm going to use 2 fingers and draw a little line, just like I did with my green paper. So I'm going to use 2 fingers, draw a line. 2 fingers, draw a line. 2 fingers, draw a line. I'm going to keep going all the way across the bottom of my paper. Now I'm going to take those lines and I'm going to cut all the way to the end. Watch this. I'm just going to start at one of the lines and cut all the way to the top and try to make it as straight as I can. Now I've got a strip of blue paper. All right, go to your next line. Now I've got another strip. So this page will get smaller and smaller the more you cut. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the rest of my blue strips of paper. And if they are not perfectly straight, that is okay. It will just make your cloth even more beautiful. Okay, here's my last one. Okay, so now I have lots of blue strips of paper. I'm going to do the same thing with my other color, with my third color, which I have yellow. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put 2 fingers and draw a line to leave a little space. 2 fingers, draw a line. I'm going to do this all the way across the bottom of my yellow paper. And then when I finish that, I'll do the same thing as I did with my blue paper and start at these lines and cut all the way to the top so that I have lots of yellow strips of paper. Alright, so you'll see my paper's getting smaller. I'm just cutting from the bottom all the way up to the top. Now we are going to use these strips of paper to weave our own kente cloth, and you will really be making a pattern. So if you've made patterns before in your math class or your art class, then you'll know how to do this. A pattern is just the same thing over and over again. You can make patterns with colors like red, yellow, green, red, yellow, green, red, yellow, green. You can also make patterns with sizes. You can do small, big, small, big, small, big. You can also make patterns with your body. You can touch your head, touch your shoulders, clap. It's the same thing over and over again. So that's going to help us as we make our kente cloth. We'll just remember we're making a pattern. So now you've got your big piece of paper that you've cut, and now you've got all these little strips. Okay, so I'm going to choose what color I want first. I think I'm going to start with blue, and I'm going to tilt my camera down so that you can see how to weave the kente cloth using your paper. Okay, so I'm going to start with a blue strip. Now, when you pick up the little pieces of your paper, you can see that some parts will stay down and some will go up. I'm going to start at the very bottom and put my blue piece on the top. So that means the next green piece, it needs to go under. And it's going to go over and then under. Over, under. And then the last one is over because I'm at the end of my paper. So now you can see that it looks like this. So you can see that the blue went over the green, under the green, over the green, under the green, over the green, under the green, over the green. Now when I do my yellow papers, I'm going to do that a little bit differently. I'm going to still start at the bottom, but instead of putting it on top of the green, I'm going to start putting it under. And I'm going to slide it up and then put it over my next green piece. And then under and over. And under and over. And that means the last one it'll be under. So it'll look kind of like this. So you can see that it's already starting to make a pattern. We've got blue, green, blue, green, blue, green, blue. We've got green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, green. All right, I'm going to hold this up and see if maybe you can see the next one. I'm going back to blue because I'm going to make a pattern. I'm going to use blue, then yellow, then blue again. Okay. So for blue, I start with over, then under, and then over and under, over and under and over. It is a little tricky, so if your paper gets a little crazy, that's okay, because you can go back and move it around however you want. Okay. So now I've got 2 blues. Now it's time for another yellow. Remember, if I'm making a pattern with the colors, I need to go blue, yellow. Now remember, my yellow starts under. If you can see the back side, it looks exactly the same. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with my yellow under my green. So under, over, under, over, under, over, under. All right, we're over halfway finished. Let's do the blue next. Remember, blue starts over the green at the bottom. So you really have to use your fingers to move the paper around so that you can go over and under so easily. All right, I think we've got room for at least one more. We just did blue, so now let's do yellow. And it does take both of your hands to do this. You can see. All right, so now I've got this done. I'm going to take my glue stick, and I'm going to maybe glue down some of these ends. So like where this blue is on top and it's kind of flapping around, I'm going to put some glue on it and stick it down on top of the green paper. Okay, go to the next one that's like that. Put some glue on it. And the next one. Now I've done the ones on the top. I can't forget to do the ones on the bottom. See how it's still loose? I'm going to put some glue on it and glue it down. So on this side, I'm gluing down all of the blue pieces on the ends. But I need to turn it around because look, my yellow is sliding around and I need to glue them as well. So I'm going to put some glue up here and glue the top. Take this yellow and glue it, and the next one. And don't forget, I also have some at the bottom, so I can turn it around and glue those as well. Now when you get all of your strips of paper weaved in and glued down, your Kente cloth will look something like this, except with the colors that you chose. Now, you can go back and you can add some designs that are special to you in your Kente cloth. Lots of people wear the Kente cloth now to show things that are special to them, and they wear them on special occasions. So for me, I made 2 stars on every yellow square because I have 2 dogs and it made me think about them. And on the blue, I drew some squiggly lines because it kind of looks like water, and that's something that I really like. So you might take your marker and on every blue square, maybe you draw a heart to represent that you love your family. Like this. Maybe on every yellow square you want to draw a sunshine, or maybe you just want to make some really neat designs. You can do lines like this, or you can make lines that are straight across like this, or you could even make little polka dots or smiley faces. This is your Kente cloth, and you can make the design however you want to make it special to you. Maybe you have 4 people in your family, so you make one that has 4 dots on it or 4 lines. Maybe you have 2 pets, so you make one that has 2 hearts on it. This is all about you and representing things that are special to you and your life. So I hope that you enjoyed the book from Ghana, The Spider Weaver, and I hope that you enjoyed making your own Kente cloth today and weaving and designing it. If you need to watch again to see how to do that, you can always rewind and pause this video to see the directions for weaving the paper. Alright guys, I hope that you have a great time making this, and I will see you again soon for another fun art project. Goodbye!